Welcome to Apex Esports League. I'm JT. Tonight we're live on Project Cars 2 for the Pagnian Imports V8 Supercar Championship, and we're at the middle of the 5-round series. So tonight is round 3 and we're at Silverstone International. Tonight's session we've got the two divisions running. So starting off with Division 2, we've got 15 minutes of qualifying. Weather is medium cloud and the race is 30 laps. Weather is heavy cloud through to overcast with a mandatory pit requirement. And then we'll have a break and head into Division 1, who will enter the same session with 15 minutes of qualifying and the 30-minute race. So we'll look at the standings as of last week. We have Balaki leading the championship for Division 2 with 238 points, and not too far behind is Spray and Pray on 223, and it's still pretty close for most of the rest of the field in Division 2. And it's much the same in Division 1, where we have Sami leading the championship on 243 points, and there's a tie in second place between Midcliffe and Gallenfree 50, and it's pretty close as we go down through the standings. We'll have a look at last week's round. So we're at Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course for Division 2. We saw Taijo take a clean sweep with pole victory and fastest lap bonus points, and then in Division 1, so Vortex qualify 7th, take the win, and Sami scored the fastest lap. So we'll check out the track. We are in the UK. Track length is 3.61 kilometers. There's 10 turns, and the game session time is 10 AM. And with those cloudy conditions, track temperature is going to be rather cool to start off with, and that could very well progress through into the race, as those weather conditions will be heavy cloud through to overcast. We get a shocking view of pit lane from Silverstone. A small intimate field of drivers at the moment. There's a couple of drivers unable to make it tonight, and hopefully may get a couple of late joiners to head on in. If it does only stay a small field, it's going to do well for our drivers that are in the session. There's going to be some high points up for grabs with only half a field. To our championship leader, Balaki, has been having an absolute cracker this year. He's been performing incredibly well throughout the year. Last series, starting to get up towards that top end, and then to come aboard on the V8 Supercars, which most would say is the most difficult car to drive in the game. And then now leading the championship. We did have a driver change last week, seeing Vortex change from Division 2 over to Division 1. Having himself forfeit all his championship points from Division 2 and starting afresh last week for Division 1. We'll go through the list of who we've got in here. We have Dan Boone, not sure if he may be a little bit confused. Just where the track was going is a very different version compared to that of the National and the GP. So there are multiple versions of Silverstone. This one is a very fast track with only a few technical corners. And we have Mr. D-Train. We've got Steph. We've got Hypes. And first time is coming through now. Grand Prix setting a 101.336. And then our other driver, Coolboy, he's just brought that car back into the pits, qualified a 104. We're getting some very quick times. I think roughly, it's a 1:59 from memory, being world record times in the test Or the time trials, should I be saying. Did forget to quickly glance just as to what it was when we were at the track discussion screen. Hey Gallon, thanks for jumping on. If you are joining us for the stream and haven't done so, do hit that follow button so you'll be notified when we go live. We're here every Thursday night for Project Cars 2, and then also on Monday nights for iRacing. Plenty of V8s. And then next week will be one not to miss for sure. We will be doing some charity fundraising for Veteran Gaming Australia, as it is Anzac Day on Monday. We are hosting a race that night, so it'll be a special event dedicated to the diggers. Gallon expecting Blake to take pole with a 1 minute. Larky's gotten in a 1:02. Do jump in the chat and let us know who you're cheering on. Who you think is going to take the pole position and even throw a time out there if you think you may know what they've got in them. We've had some pretty good predictions over the last few rounds. So only got 7 seconds separating them at this stage. Pipe setting a 1:08. Jump on board for a lap around. There we go. And Boon's just commencing a lap now. Lag skip as he turned down through turn 1. Cautious through that turn 2 can be a little slippery. Hairpin. Seeing a fair few lag skips going on for Dan Boone. Nice sweeping right hand corner of the right line. You can take a huge amount of pace, but it is very easy to run wide on that corner, and they'll really throw you out for that back straight. A lot of throttle control around the off-camber right-hander. Now, chicanes here, almost a double hairpin, usually high incident area. Not to cut that final corner too much, that sausage curve cause a big problem. And that lap there was a 1:03, almost a 1:04. And the fastest lap that he's set is a 1:02.883. Away run slightly wide. Not sure if the game will actually give a slowdown for going off a little too wide in that section. Hey Vortex, thanks for jumping on. It's a bit unfortunate we haven't got too many in there. We've got a few that are online that are hoping may join in the next few minutes. We do have a couple that are occupied tonight and can't make it, unfortunately. Right, so we can try and get a golden lap in, trying to get a little bit of extra temp into those tyres. Instead of 1:01.336, and that was pretty early on in the session. Falaki at 1:01.525, just under 2 tenths away from that pole time. It's not going to take much to try and get that pole position. And with the smaller field out there, at least it's going to be a little bit less congested for them. And then it does also reduce the advantage of perhaps getting a nice slipstream and getting that a little bit more out of the car. And try and shave a little bit more time off that lap. Steph qualifying a 1:03.120, pushing through the time. It looks like Balaki flying out of pit lane, as you can see, can almost prove a little bit of a problem. And there's a high speed exit for that pit exit. And it almost comes out just as the cars start to come across the track. They are going to have to be cautious once in the race. Just once those cars start coming out, it's going to be less difficult with only 7 of them out there. It's definitely going to probably cause some problems once we get into the larger field over into Division 1. Lap times coming down. Hype's now shaving another 3 seconds off his lap time. Getting it down to 1:06.239. So it's like 4.9 separating them now. And that's just done that lap for him. Doesn't take any damage. It's probably going to invalidate this and the following lap as well. Running off track in those last couple of corners, which invalidates current and next laps. Oh, and Sprays is coming through with a quicker lap time of 1:01.161. We're almost getting down into the 1 minute territory. Can we see it done? Balaki's gearing up, and it was a prediction from Gallant. Even actually pretty tight prediction of 1:07. Not just in the 1 minute. Going for the temps there. Chris Millen. Yes, we are Australian based for Apex eSports League. So all our drivers, Australian and New Zealand. I don't think we've had too many internationals. Oh boy, comes back out on track just behind D-Train. Ran wide slightly. Down through the kitty litter. It doesn't slow him up at all. Now with only 3 minutes remaining to the session, and the few drivers that were online haven't accepted their lobby invite will have missed the start of the race. Gonna bode well for our top few on the standings. It's going to be for all drivers, as there's going to be much more points in it. As those points start to dwindle off as we start to see those positions finishing up down towards 16th. For the top 7, all within very good scoring positions. Then qualifying, the lowest points that's going to be scored is 13 points. And then in the race, the minimum will be 66 points. So with just how close those standings are for the championship, it's going to put them in a very good position coming into round 4. Looks like tonight's going to be a pretty intense battle between Balaki and Spray. Very similar lap times. And with how close they are on the championship, 238 points to 223. Spray in second position. And then in third we have is Steph on 174. Dan Boone is in fourth, 152. He's only 2 points ahead of Taijo. Taijo unable to make it tonight. Also missing Simo, Holographic, NZ Jack. Dan Pierceman and also Mark. Oh, there we go. We've got a 1 minute done. And it's still going to leave opportunity for another lap. No, he's pretty satisfied with that. That was a very light load of fuel. Only 3 litres remaining in the car. 1 minute point 9.
Got it!
That is super quick. The race will be starting in about 2 minutes now. There's qualifying complete. There's only 40 seconds to finish up here. There we go, Balaki's finding a spot to do a burnout. That's only routine for Balaki to do a smoke show in between. Unfortunately, a lot of these good burnouts have actually been off camera as well. We've been blessed last week and this week. Cool boy crosses the line. He improves his time there. He moves up another position, so it'll see him start from position 3. He was sitting in 4th and he bumped down Dan Boone. So there we have Spray and Pray taking pole position for round 3, setting a 1 minute 4. So it's half a second quicker than Balaki's time in the end. They were pretty close, only by a couple of tenths for most of that session. The rest of the grid we have then is Balaki, Coolboy, Dan Boone, Steph, D-Train, and Hypes. So, track now. There you go, and yet Typical Legend pulls up on a fast lap. He probably could have kept going on that lap for sure, taken pole, but he didn't want to miss out on the opportunity to do a burnout for sure. As Chris has done as well, don't forget to use those sound effects down underneath the stream, so that way you can applaud, boo, and then all the likes. As Chris used the "I got 'em," so there's a whole bunch of fun sound effects to play over the course of the race. Have some fun with that. And we always get a shocking view here. The camera always zooms off well into pit lane fence. I have to just quickly cross over as the drivers hit ready. Hey, cool boy, yes, well done. Good outcome, starting in 3rd. There we go. Drivers are all hit ready. Excuse me while those names change. We'll try and keep the camera zoomed out. Should be right once they're underway. There we go. Ooh, fair bit of movement. We've got D-Train. Oh, the cameraman's still zooming off. D-Train's ducked up along the inside. He's gained a few positions, but he's touched Cool Boy. That's put them both into a spin. That's pretty hefty. I'm sure he may have been carrying a little bit too much speed. I think Hypes may have been actually caught up in it. Got a good start. Only just getting through turn 1. There's Cones down the back end already taking a thrashing. Gamboon lagging a little bit. This could be interesting if there's no cars next to him, so it should be safe. Ray just holding onto the lead, and that car a little bit slippery for him at the moment. Doesn't appear to be handling too well. That's allowed Balaki to quickly close in and start putting some pressure on. He's going to be in a fantastic spot for a potential move over these next few corners. He's gauging for an opening. A little bit of oversteer at that corner exits cost Balaki some momentum. That's going to see him drop back a little bit. He's only going to catch him by the end of the straight. Not sure how drivers will go, whether they'll be needing to take tyres. So maybe not pushing too hard and just tucking in behind spray at this stage may be a good strategy. We've got a bit of spacing going on. D-Train's in 4th position, he's about 6.6 behind. D-Train and Coolboy recovered okay. F in 6th position. Pipes dropped down in the 7th. Did look like he may have had some damage after a little tussle between D-Train and Coolboy. Look at those lap times just set by Spray and Balaki. Both in the 102s, and it's 0.780 and 0.743. The Balaki less than 0.04 quicker than Spray. It doesn't look like he's overly pushing too much at this stage. I think he may just be tucking in. He may be able to force an error out of Spray without having to work too hard for it. He gets up along the inside, they're side by side, that's not going to be the right spot for the next corner. He yields that position back. He's already pestering those mirrors and getting door to door. Dropped off a little bit of pace, but not by much. There's very little difference between the two now still. All it's going to take is a little mistake. Spray needs to stay focused. Keep hitting those corners perfectly. Try not to take too much attention to Balaki in his mirrors. He's aware where he is, and if he does go for a move, as you don't want to be caught up in an incident and have your race go on for both of them. D-Train, what a slide. Almost looked like he was going to save that and put it into a drift. There we go, we just get to steer off a bit of grass there. As D-Train makes his way back on the track. Pipes now 7 seconds behind D-Train after he's off. Steph's moved up into 5th position. Got a good 7 seconds between her and D-Train. She's only 3 to 4 behind Cool Boy. Cool Boy's car is appearing to be okay. There's only just a soft tap to that back left quarter panel. Sorry, back right is where it was tapped between him and D-Train. Van Boon racing nice and quietly on his own there. He's 6 seconds behind race lead. He's got about another 7 seconds between himself and 4th position. He can really just stay focused on that track, sticking consistent, and he may be able to start to close in on these two. They're on lap 7 of 30. These two have been at this gap this entire time. Oh, Blakey gets him on the corner. Not enough. Took the nice inside line, that wider line by Spray. Ended up being able to carry that mid-corner speed through to the exit. Blakey goes for another inside move. I think he's just far enough ahead. And we've seen him do this before. He gets caught up for this left-hander. Oh, he's going to go for a switchback. He makes the move, tucks back in. What a pass for Blakey. Saw the opening, took it, and owned that track position. Will he start to pull away now? He was only just tucking in and didn't seem to be pushing overly hard behind Spray. Will we see him start to streak ahead now? Spray's going to have to try and stick on his tail. Return the favour. And start pestering those mirrors. It's probably the largest gap that we've had between the two. It's almost out to 7/10. Still 7 seconds behind D-Train. D-Train rather wide. I don't think he may be too impressed with just how that car seems to be handling at the moment. I think it may be suffering from a little bit of oversteer. That seemed to have been the case. That lap 1 contact between himself and Cool Boy. There was a tad bit of oversteer, then crossing over and just making that very soft contact. That's just received a post-race penalty as well. Spray's dropping back now. It's 1.1 seconds away from Blakey. Blakey is flying ahead. Last lap a 102.2, where Spray did a 102.5. Well, less than a tenth between them, lap to lap, those first 7 laps. Now across the line for lap 10. That's about 7/10 quicker for Blakey now. He's really pulling ahead. Timings, test penalties, a 1 second penalty. I mean, it can be too dire, but in saying that, we've had some very close finishes. Most of the drivers throughout the field now crossing in pairs. In 4th position. You can see Steph just coming on to that back straight. It looked like she was marginally starting to catch up to Coolboy. She's about 3.3 seconds slower that previous lap. Oh no, she's caught up quickly now. There's been a mistake by Coolboy. He may have had a little bit of a slip. It looks like he's lost his rhythm. That momentum seems to have shifted. Could be an opportunity for Steph to move up a position. Like his lead starting to dwindle a bit. Spray's getting that momentum back. About 2 tenths quicker that time around. We are nearing the halfway point. That's lap 12 run now. Will the drivers head on in around that halfway point, or are they going to try and last out as long as possible? Oh, that's Pipes. It was off track, so he's now a lap down. Like and Spray get around, no problems. With this short track, it doesn't take much to start being lapped. Very quick lap times. Spray closing that gap yet again. Number 2 tenths quicker. Almost got it back under 1 second gap. Steph just gets Coolboy. Like he may have made a mistake, so he's dropped back pretty quickly. Coolboy is dealing with that a bit of damage from lap 1. You may want to consider getting into those pits as soon as possible. Great. He's chasing down Balaki. Lap is slightly off pace. Bamboon, first driver to head on into the pits. Time showing Delta for Spray here is actually up on his time, so he's doing well. Can't see. Steph's just gone off. She's now behind Coolboy, but she's looking to get back around again. Door. Steph's just marginally ahead as she comes down back straight. Coolboy's tucked back ahead again. Now the pace to be able to keep getting ahead, ready to take the next corner. Oh, it's side by side for that right hand up. It's going to be interesting to try and take the left turn up here, but she's up ahead. Oh, that is nice and tight through there. Pipes now into the pits. A nice racecraft between Steph and Coolboy. Nice tight corners, both go very wide. Cool Boy just manages to stick with the very wide line. Let's put him into a spin. He's blocked the track. He's going to have to get out of the way. Quickly gets out of that spot. It was blocking the track. A bit of paint traded between the two. Spray now into the pits. That's Dan Boone. We can see just in the distance behind these two. A bit of a slip from Cool Boy. Steph peels off into the pits. Allow Dan Boone to move back up another position. He was the first driver to head off into the pits. As you see, Cool Boy head on in to serve that mandatory pit requirement. Dan will be able to easily take that position back if he can keep that gap. Blakey now making his way down pit lane. Great pit the lap before. It'll be interesting just to see whether Blakey will be able to still stay out ahead. See how close these two are going to be. It's going to come down to how long that pit stop is. We've got that map up. Blakey is moving. There is a little while to that pit exit. Does actually dogleg out and around. I think they're going to come out very close to each other. There's Blakey. Pulls out just ahead. No, they're going to carry door to door at pit exit. Look at that. Blakey's out there on lower temp. He's been out there for another whole lap beforehand, so he's going to have an advantage for this lap. He's going to make a move. His best opportunity is probably going to be this lap. And just try and hold Blakey off for the remainder of the race. Cool Boy just been in and served his pits. So now sees Dan Boone move back up into position 3. Spray's carrying a lot more pace through those corners. That car's sticking a lot more. That's going to change now after Blakey's been out there for a lap. Those temps coming back up. Drivers having been in and served the mandatory pit. Spray goes for an outside move down pit straight. Blakey's going to have the inside advantage for this corner. Going to have to hold that pace though. He's going to be stuck on the outside here. This is where he got caught up after several attempts for passes. But he did manage to get him in the end with a switchback. Can he do it again? Blakey. Places. Get this car in towards Spray. Both of them hit that sausage curb. Slows them down a little. Yes, Blakey's got a post-race time penalty. He's wearing 1 second now. Jeff's got 1 second. And D-Train caught 10 seconds. That would be speeding in pit. Blakey gets the move on Spray. He's going to have at least a 1 second lead. the time he crosses the line to take the checkers. Otherwise, he can give that position away. Well, and Cool Boy has just turned around down the back. Flick spins that car back around. Look at the standings as of lap 20. Only 10 to go. Pipes in position 7. D-Train in 6. Not sure if he's catching up to Dan Boone. Dan Boone's just lapped him. He's currently a lap down to D-Train in 6th. Boy in 5th position. I think the car's got some steering difficulties at this stage. There's Dan Boone in behind him, he's going to have to get around. We have Steph in position 4. Now it looks like Larky and Spray catching up to Steph, so they're looking at lapping position 4 at this stage. Dan Boone in P3. And he's in a nice little safe spot. He's got a huge gap between himself and Steph. 16 seconds away from race lead. Grand Prix in P2. And our race lead is our championship leader, Balaki. Eight laps remain. Balaki's starting to put a gap over Spray again. Got to maintain at least 1 second between him and Spray. Ooh, he tucks over across behind Steph. The blue flag shown for Steph. That draft would have posed very well, and now he's put Steph and Spray space between themselves. Very nice strategy done by Balaki. Steph runs out wide to let Spray through. That move has gained Balaki a whole second, if not more. And if he can further that gap out to about 2.5, 2.6, that slipstream advantage for Spray is going to dwindle. He's going to be able to start pulling away a whole lot more without towing him in behind him. Balaki can hold out these next 7 laps, keep that gap. I think it'll be the first win for Balaki. It'll be a fantastic result for Balaki. It's come leaps and bounds. In fact, all our drivers have been outdoing themselves phenomenally over the course of the time that they've been racing, but just especially so this year. They've come an immense amount. We're seeing some incredible lap times being done out there. The competition is becoming very fierce now. As weather conditions appear to have changed over to overcast. Race Time started at 11 AM. Time progression is ×2. So about an hour of progression in game. Be close to midday by the time the race concludes. Hopefully, these track temperatures hold out. Who's that that's off there? I think that may be Cool Boy. Having a bit of bad luck after a great qualifying result, taking P3 in that last lap. Having a PB for qualifying with Apex Esports League. In the series we've seen many personal bests for a lot of the drivers. Look at that gap now falling out. Blarkey's getting nearly 3 seconds over Spray with only 5 laps to go, almost 4. All Blarkey's got to do is just keep it consistent, not make a mistake. And he's going to be able to see the checkered flag. A few drivers now wearing post-race time penalties. Spray's now taken 3 seconds. So that's just mean even more of a safety net between Blarkey. He only had to put 1 second over him initially. He's now got 2 seconds leeway with the two of them having those penalties. So even if he finishes a second between the two, he's still going to be able to hold that win. Spray to be able to take the win now over these next few laps. He's going to have to pass Blarkey and then put 2 seconds over him. It's going to be pretty hard with just how consistent these guys' lap times are. They're getting it down to only about 0.04 again. Blarkey's last lap at 102.381 and Spray at 102.414. Van Boon looking extremely well for a podium finish. The car lags kicking a fair bit through the session. Cool Boy having some issues with that car still, as does Hypes in behind him. And these two are actually racing for position here. Hypes could get a pass, take the position away from Cool Boy. And I can't remember whether this may be a personal best finish for Steph as well, taking position 4. Gallen confirming yes, it'll be a personal best finish for Steph. Cool Boy off track, re-enters and spins again. That car really seeming to oversteer. It looks like he's got some tail damage. Just drops the pace off to let these guys through. That car's not behaving very well at all. Seems to be dealing with some issues from that car from lap 1. Rather unfortunate for Cool Boy. Now lap 29, Larky's leading the way, followed by Spray and Pray. Dan Boone in 3rd. F's in 4th. Now coming on to the last lap. Def looking pretty safe. She's got about 33 seconds between herself and D-Train. She'd have to make a significant error over the course of this lap to lose that position. Pipes up in 6. Taking that position away from Cool Boy with the issues he's having, and off it goes again. Like Polaki playing very cautious on this final lap. You can probably see those post-race time penalties. All he knows he's got that safety net. He doesn't have to push the car hard here. All he has to do is just spin and would lose it. Look at that. Crosses the line, a win for Polaki. Well done, Polaki. Spray and Pray, P2. What a drive between these two. They were really neck and neck for a majority of that race. And their lap times pretty much consistent each lap. Got 45 seconds to get the last laps done. And Boone makes on the podium, P3. I think that may be AI driving for Steph. She was a lap down, so may have just crossed beforehand. And D-Train still racing, so Steph takes position 4. There we have it. Results for Division 2 in round 3 of the Pagnian Imports V8 Supercar Championship. Belaki taking the victory. And then even got the fastest lap of the race as well. Yes, a 101.876. So what a time to be setting in the race. Well done to Belaki. And then on the podium in P2 is Spray and Pray, and P3 is Dan Boone. Then we've got Steph, D-Train, Hypes, and Cool Boy. So we'll be adding in Belaki, Spray, and Dan for a chat. So bear with me as I add them. Okay, Alan was Belaki busting for a P. I guess he'll tell us in the chat in a moment. He's not ashamed to let us know that he is. That's probably why he's putting down those very fast lap times. Wanted to get the race done and dusted. And those invites sent through now. Team join in a moment. Hey Spray, congratulations, what a drive, mate.
Thanks, mate. Shout out to the usual. Sally, mum and dad.
Thanks, Spray, mum and dad.
Yep. Always got to do
I'll remember if you don't.
Yes, yeah. I get the dirties when I walk inside afterwards then. No,
Yes, yes. Congratulations, Belaki, first win.
Thank you. Yeah, first win in the supercars. Pretty good.
Yeah, well done.
Fastest lap.
Solid drive, yeah, 101.876, so very quick lap time for race pace.
It was tough. Very tough.
Yeah, and then there wasn't much gap between you and Spray for most of that race either.
Nope.
After the
time.
pit stop, it was hectic.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
came
you
out
came
side by
out.
side.
Yeah, door to door on that pit exit, and then
Yeah.
even on the cooler tyres, just fighting it out that lap. It was great to see.
It's good fun.
Yeah, congrats Dan on the podium, P3.
Thanks, JT. Yeah, boys in front were too quick again this week.
I was going to say you had a nice little gap just racing on your own in third position for a while. With those
I
two
had to.
ahead.
My internet was my internet was tripping out all over the joint. And everyone, if I had a car on screen with me, it just jumped around and kept coming back to me and all that. So I was just trying to keep a gap where I was by myself. It was really weird. I've never experienced anything like it. But I wouldn't have caught those blokes up front anyway tonight.
Yeah, skipping a fair bit throughout the whole session tonight, so it was rather interesting. Fingers crossed you won't go disconnect.
Like that. It was weird. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Oh, geez, I hope I don't, because I was thinking that all day. It's been dropping in and out all day. So, but anyway, it was a good race, very enjoyable. And as I say, the boys up front way too quick.
Yeah. Yeah, and we had to ask
And
you, like, were you driving so fast because you need to pee, or?
No. No. But I am hungry.
It was hunger this time. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Steph. Good race, Steph.
Yeah, before we'd add Steph in, congrats on a PB.
Thank you. Appreciate
Well
that.
done, Steph.
Much appreciated. Thank you. It was good fun. I don't know what happened. I thought I fixed my car last night out of understeer, but definitely not. That was a bit interesting.
Oh, yeah.
It came good in the last 5 laps.
Yeah, saw that pace starting to pick up towards the back end, so unfortunately I wasn't doing it at the start.
No, that's alright. It is what it is. What can you do?
I thought it was a bit odd. I did my PB on a lap 27. I thought that was a bit odd.
Yeah. You guys are flying at the front. Seriously.
My qualifying lap wasn't the greatest. I wasn't happy with it. Did not like it at all.
We all did really well. Congrats.
Still a good outcome in the end. It was very close, those lap times between you two, so and then kept it up for 30 laps. So they needed well-deserved rest now.
Yeah.
Go practice some Simona.
That's it. Let's go do some Simona.
Yeah,
After some dinner, because I'm starving.
Well, good luck to the Div 1 boys. It's
Have
tough.
fun.
We may have made it look easy, but it's tough, alright?
It looks like an easy track, but 30 laps worth? Definitely not.
Just think of food and you'll go faster.
There you go.
Or Blacky's case of toilet. Sometimes.
Or that.
Just look out if you got to mix the two together, Balaki. You might be doing some record lap times.
Yeah, that's
easily.
That's for next week.
Yeah, no, we'll save it to Bathurst.
Bathurst double points, yeah.
Bathurst, yeah.
Bathurst.
Last round.
Yeah, we'll do Bathurst. I'll make that happen.
Congratulations, guys. Fantastic
Thanks.
drive.
Thanks, JT.
Appreciate it. Go Sally Engineering.
Yeah, go Sally Engineering.
Thanks, JT, for everything.
Thanks, JT. Good luck. See yous.
Good luck.
Good luck to
Go Gallon. Go Gallon.
There you go, and a call out for Gallon, cheering on the uncle there. So congratulations to our podium finishers and all the drivers on a great race for Division 2 in round 3, with Blakey taking that win, and then on the podium Spray and Pray and Dan Boone. So we'll be taking a short break and be back at about 8:45, ready for Division 1. So we'll have 15 minutes qualifying and then 30 laps with Division 1. So I can see a good sized field there and some very close racing yet again. So do stay tuned. We'll be back momentarily with Division 1. And welcome back for session 2. We're now heading off into Division 1 for round 3 of the Pagnian Imports V8 Supercar Championship, and we are in the United Kingdom for Silverstone International for round 3. In-game session time is 10 AM. Weather conditions are medium cloud cover. Track length is 3.61 kilometers with 10 turns, and we saw some very close racing with Division 2. We only have a small intimate field of 7 drivers, but it was still great racing action to see, and I think we got about 13-14 drivers currently loaded in for Division 1 at the moment. There should be even more tight racing with 13 drivers, nearly doubling the size of the field from Division 2. And we do just have to stare off here at the starting lights until drivers scramble out on track. And if you're only just joining us, ready for the stream, do hit that follow button. You can be notified when we go live with all our racing. And it is great to see all the support of that growth. I think we're at 226 followers now. Great to see that number climbing up. Oh, we've just had a grid place penalty by the head farmer. He's been stung for speeding. Over the last couple of weeks we've seen a couple get done forgetting to hit that pit limiter. Even a few disqualifications of drivers having to exit the session, jump back in, be able to clear that DQ status. And for all our viewers live on the stream, do jump in the chat. Don't be shy, say hello, let us know who you're cheering on, who you think's going to take that pole position. Who's going to take the win? We got Rennie with us this week after having missed last week's race. Make our way through all our drivers while they start their out lap. We did have Rooney. We got Coco Dog, that's Rooney crossing the line, ready to start his first time lap. Rooney having some weird stuff going last week. Upon that pit entrance, suffering a disqualification. There's some better luck for him this week, so it cost him heavily in race points. We've got the head farmer. And Philly Manilli. And Vortex doing the swap over last week. Started last week with nil points. So scoring the first points for Division 1 Championship last week. Then you have Sami. He's our championship leader. He's only got 41 points ahead of Gallen and Mick Cliff, so it's very close. Doggy Daddy. We have DK Rush. First time the laps coming through. Gallen took the pole with a 101.199. And Wera snuck in straight up off the mark, setting a 1 minute point 5. Vortex also with a 101 and 155. And look at Philly also in the 1 minutes. 1 minute point 7. After we've got the Pretender. Unable to make last week, so we're missing a few. And Sami's just taken pole. Just under 2 tenths quicker than Wera's time. Ooh, a little bit slippery out his costume. Every missed out of the drivers, Nick Cliff. We're currently tied second in the championship with Gallen. Dirty Monkey. Not sure if he's actually making his way out of pit lane or not. We're back with us after missing last week as well. Hopefully all things going smoothly for him at the moment. There you go, now we can see Dirty Monkey's car. Well, it was Mick Cliff. Just dived off. Not sure if that may have been a bit of contact between himself and Dirty Monkey. All drivers getting a time on the board. Just waiting for Doggy Daddy. Race feed showing that he's had a lap invalidated. Not sure if it's this current lap. This costume a bit of pace. There's a 3.4 seconds separating 12 cars. BK overshot that. We have 4 drivers in the 1 minute section. So our top 4 separated by under half a second. A little swap around between Gallen and Philly now. Gallen sneaks up into third. There's not a whole lot of difference between their times. Both in the 1 minute, and a .723 and a 774. Like Vortex, he's copped 2 grid place penalties. That's going to cost him pretty big. Currently qualified 5th. Gonna have to try and shave off a fair bit of time to be able to compensate for those grid place penalties. Last week in Indianapolis, a fair few incidents involved between the drivers as well. Yeah, all drivers heading the qualifying lap now. Doggy Daddy getting in with the same pace. 103.9. Everything's pretty close. You're only 3.6 seconds away, and that sees you at the back end of the grid. And then the good thing with that is you don't need to shave much off your lap to be able to jump up several positions. That's 6 minutes. Qualifying left. I think that's Mick's car. That car took a solid hit when he went off into that wall. The car's currently unaffected. It's only visual for the car. Damage model is performance impacting, but when they bring the car back in, the pits have it repaired or in qualifying and practice sessions when you just get a brand new car, they replace all the panels and wings, but then they still remain heavily scuffed and buckled. The windscreens usually appear broken still. Rick, can we check Sami's engine specs? Might need to do some scrutineering on his car and see what he's running. He's running about 15 litres of fuel. I've seen a few drivers go for some more heavier loads in the previous rounds for qualifying just to try and get that extra stick. With Silverstone you can afford to lighten that car up a bit, you don't lose as much grip in that rear. Try and jump on board for a lap before the session ends. Usually run into a bit of bad luck. Try and jump on for an onboard lap. Who that was, who's that? That wasn't Doggy Daddy, it was the other yellow car out there, was D. That's DK's car. Actually, might have been Coco Dog. Rather loose. It's got a fair bit of rear slip going on. Someone who's close to finishing up a lap that's probably not going to park her up afterwards. Oh, feeling into a spin. Packer Dog. Oh, he was up on that sector time. If we don't jinx Pretender here. Crosses the control line. 8/10 off on that lap. Can he do hot lap here? Nice line, using the full amount of that corner for turn 1. Very sharp right hand hairpin. Nice tidy line. The right hander onto the back straight. Turn coming into the end of sector 2. And the chicanes. Double hairpins. Starting line through turn 10. About the same pace as that last lap he had. About a 103.2. Conley still holds that pole position. 1 minute 2:26. Green's just ahead of him as well. This could be an advantage to Sami on this lap. Get close enough to get that slipstream. He might be able to carry a little bit more speed. He's running similar pace to that 1 minute point 2. He could potentially break down into the 1:59. A little bit loose for Wirra. Across into this lap, it's 3/10 away from pole. Not a whole lot of difference between Wirra and Gallant. 0.009. difference between those lap times. He's just parked the car up, as does Wirra. That's it for their qualifying session, so there's only 20 seconds left. The final lap for Gallen will be more than enough. As it counts down, there'll be about 45 seconds left to get final laps done. Vortex has bumped himself up a couple of positions. He's into P4 now. There we go, we've got about 70 seconds to wrap up. Let's go by car field size as well. Vortex is wearing 2 grid places, as is the head farmer. I don't think Vortex will probably be too impressed with this lap, no. There is running slightly wide. He's going to pull up Bill Burnout across the line. Vortex doing a smoke show off in the final corner. Looks like Rooney's crossed the line. So that's an AI driving his car. So Gallen using that same spot that Balaki pulled up to do his burnout. Nice smokies going on. But we head over into 30 laps for Division 1. And we're done for qualifying Division 1 in round 3. Sami takes pole position, and the rest of the grid is followed by Wirra, Gallen, and then Vortex moves down 2 positions. And starts from P6, Philly moves up into 4th, and Coco into 5th. And then we had Rooney, DK Rush, Nick Cliff, Pretender. Head Farmer has 2 grid places. That will see him start from the rear of the field, and that has Dirty Monkey and Doggy Daddy both move up. Going over to the grid now. Quite fix that shocking camera angle that this track does from the grid start. While you join us to stream, do check out those sound effects controls underneath. You can play that over the stream. The audio will be recorded. You can have some fun and cheer on your drivers and some other fun sound effects as it goes on. And also don't forget our social media links down at the bottom of the screen, so fb.com/Apex Esports League. You can keep up to date with all results, standings and incident reports. And our YouTube channel where we archive all our broadcasts over to there. So it's bit.ly/ApexESL, and you will need to be case sensitive with that URL. So drivers get given a couple of minutes just to set a pit strategy, and then also change their setup. And there they are. They will hit that ready button. It's about to see the lights go green. Last race in round 3. Oh, look at Philly. Ducks out along the inside. Moves up into position 2, side by side with Gallen. Well, door to door, but then Gallen's come back on and made contact with Coco Dog. And then Wirra's been spun as well. A bit of chaos going through turn 1. Looks looks like a brake marker being thrown as if those traffic cones, there's none left through that corner at all now. Can't see it on the stream, but I can see cones actually bouncing the entire way down that straight. All that chaos goes to the advantage of Sami. He's now got only a 3-second lead just on that first lap. Billy's in P2. Gallen managed to fare okay. He's in P3. Like that. Door-to-door contact between himself and Coco. Coco's recovered off into P8. Whereas car looking to be in very good shape. Oh, looks like there was a shunt between Mick Cliff. That was another blue car, not sure whose it was. It was Head Farmer. Now door to door with Doggy Daddy. I think the two may be dealing with some damage. Doggy's car not appearing to be driving overly straight down. It seems to be okay now. It might have just been a little bit loose under power. Mick going off into the pits. Looks like he made heavy contact to that tail of Head Farmer. Wouldn't be surprised if he's got to come in as well. It may just be some aero damage to the back of that car. Mick may be able to recover from this, but it is going to mean he's going to have a very long stint if he uses that as his mandatory pit. We're only in lap 3, so he's got to last out 27 laps straight. I'm not sure just how those tyres may last out. That's great, thanks for jumping on the stream. Billy trying to close in on Gallen, but Vortex is quickly moving up. Pretty tight. Going down pit straight. All drivers going down through to nearly 8th position. Okay, looking to try and get an opening in between Rooney and DK. The slip from DK is going to cost him down the back straight. Rooney may have an advantage to get a run on him here. Pace from Coco is really closing in. Rory Daddy's just copped himself time penalty. Coco Dog gets up alongside of Rooney. Gets the pass on him through turn 10. Starting to pull away from Rooney pretty quickly now. That's great. Predicting Gallen and Vortex up on the podium. Rooney's doing his best to try and not let Coco Dog pull away too quickly here. Farmer Pretender also starting to close in. Lap 6. Sami now has an 8-second lead over Gallant. Understeer from Philly. Cost him a bit of pace. It's going to be an advantage here for Vortex to get the run on him. He's carry this pace through Sector 1. Not too many easy opportunities for a pass. Obviously got the similar pace through Sector 1. Philly drops off. I think that may have been a little bit of a lag spike. There's a lag between Philly and Vortex at that same time. Not sure if it was the same on the stream. You can just see Philly's car actually jump backwards, and then Vortex has skipped across. Very unfortunate thing, flag affecting like that when you're racing. It's only centimetres from each other's car. Doesn't take that much of a difference between latency between the drivers, and it means you could already be touching each other without having any clue to it. And still a few lag sips going on with Vortex's car. Got around Gallant. Fourth position is only a second away from Gallant. He's got Coco Dog quickly closing in on him. He's going to have that pace close even more with that rear slip we just saw through that final turn from DK. Going to lose a lot of pace down that pit straight. Coco Dog's had a good recovery after going off of that spin. He'll be up into 5th position. He's only 17 seconds away from race lead. But he's only 4 seconds away from position 2. And these guys are fairly occupied with each other. That nice little bit of space that Coco's got, he's probably going to be able to round that up pretty quickly. Has had a good comeback after dropping back to the rear. Now up into 8th position. As is Philly in P9. Track limits penalising a lot of drivers. Gallant runs very wide. Tried to break slipstream, but in doing so ended up also losing his own slip from Vortex. Possible that Gallant may be carrying a little bit of damage. As Coco may be, but his car's seeming to look pretty good. just being turned around rather than taking a hit. Okay, gets Gallen. Lap pace really dropping off for Gallen, 104.1. DK at 103.0. Coco Dog at very similar time, another 103.0. Those lap times pretty unmatched from our race leader. Just now coming up to some more lap cars. That's Doggy Daddy just up ahead. Gallen's bringing that car in, as is Coco Dog. It's a shame we can't actually see them. They're doing Dirty Monkey brings a car in also. Some position changes. All the drivers are in pit lane. Really needs P6. We're in P5. Rooney now P4. P4 dads. No one died yet. A few little tussles on lap 1. Quite a hefty shunt between Head Farmer and Mick Cliff. And they caught the back end of the incident. There's some hefty damage to Mick, having to pit in on lap 3. Yeah, as I was saying, that it was almost unrivaled lap times with Sami. With DK starting to really pull some pace out of this car. That lap of 102.760. So he's only 0.058 away from Sami's last lap time. That puts him 14 seconds away from the race lead. So did you do a raid for dads? You see your live notification go on earlier. The dog just gets around Pretender. Dirty Monkey just drops a spot. Some movement between himself and Doggy Daddy. He ran off rather wide. Really to recover those spots now. As we approach the halfway point now. I think that's Head Farmer's car being lapped by Sami. Having led for the full 15 laps so far, being the championship leader. His closest competitors for the championship is Gallen and Mick Cliff. Mick Cliff, unfortunately, probably out of good running tonight with that early incident on lap 1. Wearing out, bring it in. Ah, cool. 4 dads, yeah, it's a good idea. Looking forward to checking out your car's livery on Monday. Vortex Vortex makes a mistake. Doggy Daddy is trying to pass there. Race lead Sami. And then now DK also going into the pits. Vortex takes over that race lead. This car is showing a bit of damage, but I think it may be only lag visual damage. I think he's actually contending with anything. The car seems to be performing incredibly well. Depending on how long they hold out to take the car in, could be starting to get a little bit slippery. As weather conditions seem to have changed a little bit. Like we've crossed over into overcast conditions now. He must have had quite a lengthy stop. He's dropped back a fair few positions. He will be looking good for when Vortex comes in to serve that mandatory pit requirement. Behind him is a lap down. He did have the pace for up front. Just get caught up on lap one. Well, looks like Mick Cliff may have gone off. Not sure if he just ran wide through turn 10. In goes Vortex to the pits now. Just missed his entrance. He's moved up a little bit more again. He had the pace, but that pit stop did cost him some time. A great recovery for Coco. He's now up into P3. Right on the tail of Vortex. We'll bring up timings. Vortex is currently wearing 4-second post-race time penalty. Looks like Coco Dog may have ran a little wide there. A little bit more blurred on the broadcast screen than what I see, but Greenie wearing 13 seconds, Dirty Monkey 12 seconds, and we've also got Head Farmer and Doggy Daddy with 1 second. Drivers 13 and 12, up 10 seconds for speeding in pit lane. Out. Here's it. Don't know Project Cars 2 once that standings tower has got the red on their position number. It means they're wearing that post-race time penalty. If they've exceeded track limits and not obeyed the slowdown request, they'll usually cop 1, 2 or 3 seconds, just depending on how much they've cut the track. But slightly speeding in pit lane cops you a huge 10-second penalty. Once they get themselves up to 20 seconds, they can actually have to come in and serve a drive-through penalty as well. We're even seeing some DQs with some hefty speeding in pit lane. So once it gets up to about that 50-second mark, which is about doing 80 to 90 in the 60 zone with pit lane. And then Mick Cliff back in the pits again, unfortunately. rather frustrated because he's in a great position for the championship. Running for DK is going to be good for the championship. Now to move himself up a little bit. He's currently 5th in the championship. 172 points. Going, runs out wide. It's Doggy Daddy. No, it's not. Who's that? It's Coca Dog. I thought it might have been traffic there, but it was actually some position changes going on. Oh, Gallen sneaks in with a move. Broke the slipstream between himself and Coco, tucked in behind Vortex. He's just trying to put a little bit of space between himself and Coco. He can become preoccupied with DK. Weather is quite really overcast now. Track Champs may start to drop off slightly. Army with a huge lead now, 22 seconds. And everyone has been in and pit. Only 7 laps to go now. Probably not much chance of being able to catch Sami unless something goes wrong for him up the front. Doesn't rule it out for them at all. These guys are probably going to be locked in the battle. These remaining 7 laps. The lap times we're seeing here. Sami out front on his own, sitting at 101.5. Vortex at 101.999. Gallen and Coco Dog pretty similar. 102.6 to 102.4. Coco's 2 tenths quicker. Gallen's car seemed to hold itself much nicer since his pit stop. As is Coco Dog. The two did become side by side on lap 1. Both of them going for a slide. Have very well been dealing with some damage. Tender off to the side, lets one through, but has to take back over to that line to be able to make the corner. Which could be scary. Hits some grass. The drivers get through without losing too much groundwork from what they've been putting in to try and close the gaps between each other. Current standings as at lap 25, we have Doggy Daddy in 13th, Nick Cliff in 12th. Ed Farmer in 11th. Fender 10th. Preliminarily 9th. Pretty Monkey in 8th. He's only just marginally ahead of Billy at this stage. We're a good comeback. He's up into P7 now. P6. And he really backed off the throttle then. I'm not sure if he was going into that corner a little too hard. Maybe those tyres might be a bit on the sketchy side at this stage. Got a decent amount of fuel, but he's running 6th. Becker Dog in 5th. Before we have DK Rush. P3's Gallant. Vortex P2. I think I got 7 seconds ahead of Gallant. A nice little gap between himself. A huge distance ahead between himself and Sami. The championship leader leading the race on lap 27. That's around Doggy Daddy. Very quickly, doesn't lose any pace there. From Mickliffe closing in. He's going to have to try and keep Head Farmer at bay. Needs to try and hang on to as many points as he can. He's tied second with Gallen on the championship at the end of round 2. We're starting to close in on Rooney. About 2.3 seconds quicker a lap. Rooney's also wearing that post-race time penalty. He's not going to have to work too hard to reclaim that position. He's got a fair way to try and catch up to the next car. The car ahead is Coco Dog. Sixth finish for Wirra is probably going to be the main goal for him at this stage with only 2 laps remaining. Mickliffe now right on the tail of Pretender. Hot tight hooking out, jinxing him. So jumping on board. Commentator's curse. That's for an inside line. Should be a nice pass. Going to be on the outside for this left-hander. An easy line to be able to try and get that pass, but it doesn't leave you in a very good position for the following corner. And it keeps him at bay a little while longer. Now goes for an inside line pass here. Beautiful work, tucks in. But they're having the yield at that exit where he's ran very wide. Just about 20 seconds away from Dirty Monkey. It's going to be unlikely he's going to catch that. So now on the final lap. Looks like Sami's probably lapped half the grid by the looks of things. Only a few more corners to go. There'll be a win in the bag for Sami. Took a second last week after qualifying pole and getting the fastest lap. Smokey across the finish line. There is race complete. Check flag for Sami. P2 for Vortex, but he does have that penalty. I don't think it's going to be enough about the Warrant Gallon taking position 2, but it gets him on the podium. Congratulations, Vortex P2. Gallon in P3. Just stays ahead of DK in position 4. Pegadog takes 5th. And we have Division 1 race done and dusted. Sami takes the victory, and I think he's got the fastest lap again of 1 minute 6:21. It's a phenomenal lap to be getting that, leading for a majority of that race. Well done, son. And also on the podium is Vortex in P2 and Gallon in P3. And the rest of the standings have DK Rush, Coca Dog, Wera, Philly Manili, Rooney, Dirty Monkey, Mick Cliff, Pretender, Head Farmer, and Doggy Daddy. So we bring in our podium finishes in a moment. Just takes a moment to add them in. So we'll have Sami, Vortex and Gallon in here. Shot off for them. We'll have them in here in a moment. Yes, that penalty. Only 5 seconds for Vortex. Yeah, Sami, congratulations on the win.
Thanks,
What a
JT.
lead.
Yeah, can I say? I mean, the car's been great all week. Had an awesome setup, and it just really hooked up in the race. So, just yeah. Just really good. It's really stoked.
Landing a nice 1 minute 0.62 for fastest lap, so very tight time for race pace.
Yeah, fresh set of tyres straight out of the pits. I knew there was a lot of speed in the car, so I thought, why not? I'll go for one.
Yeah.
Well, I had the grip. But,
nice little burnout across the line to finish it too. Well deserved.
yeah, cheers, mate. Well done to Vortex and Gal as well.
Yeah, congrats on the podium. P2 Vortex, well done.
Yeah, thanks.
It's good to come through with having to start with fresh points, taking the win last week and then P2 this week.
Yeah, couldn't ask for much more.
Yeah, solid drive, and then you're getting some pretty similar lap times to Sami for a while, but that gap was just way too far in the end. Otherwise, if there was a little bit more in it, you might have started to close in a little bit more.
Yeah, well, I had slightly fresher tyres compared to Sami because I think I pitted 1 or 2 laps later.
Yeah.
Which certainly helps.
Yeah, that's great. And good little battles between his few Gallon and DK for a while as well, and even Coco Dog getting in there and a fair few exchanges.
Yeah.
And congrats, Gallon, P3.
Thank you, mate. Congratulations, Sami. Great win. Good drive, Vortex.
Yeah, thanks, Cal.
I tried to take it, but I got a little bit tied up behind one of the lap cars. Can't remember who it was. And then next thing you know, I think I was battling with Rooney trying to get through him, but couldn't get around him. And next thing you know, Coco and DK just straight up the inside of me. I'm like, hold the door. So I tried to keep up with him, and then I seen Vortex come out of the pits, and I'm like, oh we're all in a line here. We could go this. And then, I just lost my tyres. Too much understeer, and just struggled to turn it left. Apart from that, it was a good race, tough battles, tight times up the top for quali.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I was sort of half expecting you to be a little bit closer too, going on your times in practice.
Yeah, I was hoping.
Yeah.
I've done that.
A little bit of contact on lap 1 was a little bit put you back a bit.
Yeah, that gave me a little
Coco
bit
as
of
well. You got caught up in it.
Yeah, couldn't handle Sami's pace. Sami was like, I think he was 5 seconds in front after 2 laps or something. It was like, see you, Sam. Bye.
Yeah, that's what you said. I'm back here. We're back here, mate. We gotta come back.
yeah, we're back here. Come back. The race is back here, Sam.
That was good. It was a good race.
That was a top race, and thanks Sally Engineering for the tunings and the practice sessions. I think we all did well.
Yeah, that was good.
Very well. Congratulations.
Beautiful. Thanks, JT.
It'll be a little bit
great
more
night.
tighter and trickier around Sonoma in the V8 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
should
old
be good.
Carousel's going to catch a lot of people out.
Yeah. I'd also like to shout out Veteran Gaming Australia, as Apex Esports League is supporting them this Anzac week, and if you've got any spare change, just give them a donation.
Yep, definitely. It's going to be a fantastic week trying to support them, so looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I heard Sami, if he takes another win, he's donating 1,000.
1,000. Actually, that reminds me. I did want to jump on and donate the other night, and I forgot. So I'll do that later. I'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Beautiful.
guys.
Thanks, JT. Thanks for another great night.
No worries.
Yeah, well done, guys.
I can catch you
Cheers
later.
all. Catches.
Thanks, JT, for running it all.
No worries. Then we have our podium finishes with Sami taking the victory, Vortex in P2 and Gallon in P3. And then a spectacular race. And then, as we were saying, next week for round 4 we are at Sonoma. So we are heading over to the USA for Sonoma Raceway GP. And as Vortex mentioned, we are supporting Veteran Gaming Australia, who's a great charity that supports veterans with socialising and getting amongst each other with like-minded people in the gaming community. So as us all being gamers, we just know how much it can actually bring people together no matter the distance that there is between each other. You can make some great solid friendships, and then what a way to do it through gaming and having some like-minded people. So do get behind them and support them. We'll be throwing up heaps of information on our Facebook page, you can check it out. And then we will be dedicating our streams next week, so round 4 for iRacing, and then that's at Road America, and then round 4 for Project Cars 2 at Sonoma Raceway, and then they'll be solely there to raise awareness for Veteran Gaming Australia and to fundraise. So do head over to the website, check them out, see if you know any veterans that may be interested in joining up. They can find out how to join VGA, and then also head over to their donation page and you can check out just what your donation can actually go to actually supporting them. So thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you next week, especially for our charity rounds next week. So see you trackside next time.